The Indiana Pacers are sleeping giants. This team made one of my favorite moves this trade deadline where they moved for Ivica Zubac, one of the premier centers in the league, someone who was top 6 in DPOY voting, a constant double-double threat, and who is only 28 years old. Right now, their projected starting lineup will be Halley, Nesmith, Nembhard, Siakam, and Zubac. With this starting lineup, this team is perfectly balanced to maintain their high-octane playstyle on offense while maintaining a certain rigidity on defense, giving them the perfect balance of both, allowing them to compete at every level on a consistent basis. This is a team that between 2023 and 2024 maintained a top 10 in pace and offensive rating consistently. So with Halley and Zubac returning to the lineup, I expect this team to be right back at it next year in a competitive East I'm projecting. And when we speak about this team as well, I think we also have to talk about the mad genius they have at coach. Rick Carlisle's ability to keep his finger on the pulse of his teams and craft these systems that fit his personnel and maximize their ability and strength, bringing the best out of them, is masterful. He is an elite coach, and having him on the sidelines for this team and how cerebral they are is incredible, is a match made in heaven. This is a hot take, but I believe the 2024-25 Pacers revolutionized the NBA and changed the landscape of the league towards this era of pace and bench utility. Because what the Pacers did in terms of crafting this team with such a high collective IQ and court awareness, meaning that each player on the court was equally a threat, each player on the court was equally an option, and their movement was almost symphonic. Each player knew when to cut, each player knew when to replace, each player knew how to create mismatch advantages for each other, and it was almost telepathic in a sense. And so all of these ingredients combined to create this Pacers team that I believe move the NBA towards this high pace, high movement. And what unlocks all of this is Tyrese Haliburton, whose elite IQ and ability to make quick reads and accurate passes under 3.7 seconds has solidified him as the engine that keeps this team rolling. And to bring us back to the trade with Zubac, I really love this trade because Zubac accentuates what this team already does really well, which is creating favorable matchups for each and every person on the court, making each and every one of them a threat. This team is top 10 in pick and roll, and having Zubac as an elite screen setter and someone who can finish at an elite level at the rim is going to create so many favorable matchups for this team, whose movement is a skill in and of itself. And in terms of any spacing concerns, I really think that that is overblown, because this team has a career 40% shooter in Nesmith, a really good volume shooter in Nembhard, and someone in Siakam who's an adequate catch and shoot player. So any spacing concerns to me are not really valid. And another concern is I've seen as well is that the idea of pace. Is Zubac going to be able to fit in with the pace of the team? And for me, I think that that is not his role. His role is not to fit in with the pace of the team. His role is to get the rebound, and the rebounds feed Haliburton, who in turn feeds the three other players who should essentially be the ones getting out in transition in terms of Nesmith, Nembhard, and Siakam. The sneaky X factor for this team is a bench. In 2023 to 2024, the bench of the Pacers put up the most points, and in the following season, they were top 10 in bench production. The thing that makes this team run is the ability to constantly maintain a high level of pace throughout the game. And that means that each of the players who come in and come out have to maintain that same level of. And when you have players like TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin who are about that life, it makes it so much easier to maintain that level throughout the game. One of the bright spots for this team moving into 2026 is the fact that their pace is going to be further solidified by players like Jarvis Walker and potentially a top 5 pick coming into the team. This team knows how to develop players. Nesmith was brought from the Celtics. Nembhard was a second-round pick. Obi Toppin has been placed in the right position to thrive with his ability and skill. This team knows how to put its players in position to succeed, and that is such a cool thing for a team to look forward to. This team is one of the worst teams, has one of the worst records in the league, but I think that the optimism is at an all-time high.